It was Christmas time on the island of Sodor. Thomas, Annie, and Clarabel were busy taking goods and passengers all up and down every line on the island. Coaches often feel overworked at this time of year, but they don't mind as long as the music's playing and the bells are ringing. Later that morning, Thomas and some of his friends gathered at the shunting yard. They were talking about what would be good for the Christmas party later that night. "We should have a buffet for everyone so they can have something to eat at the party," insisted Mario. "We need presents and candy canes," peeped Percy. "Those are all great ideas," said Inkling Girl. "Here's mine." And so she went. But Annie and Clarabel were not feeling so happy. The poor coaches felt left out. "Coaches," sadly murmured Annie. "That's all we'll ever be." Clarabel had to sadly agree. Just then, the fat controller came in. He had some bad news. "There's been an accident at Barrow and Furness. A special engine was supposed to come to Sodor, but it's now stranded. We need to rescue it immediately or else the Christmas party is cancelled." Thomas hated wearing his snowplow, but he volunteered anyway. "I'll do my best, sir," he said. "You can count me in too, sir." "You boys aren't going without me. Count me in too," said Molly and Inkling Girl. "We're coming along too," quickly insisted the coaches. "Brilliant. Now get going now. We mustn't have a moment to lose." So the cavalcade was off and Thomas charged fiercely through the thick piles of snow. At last, the crew made it to Barrow and Furness. "Peep, peep! Here we are!" shouted Thomas. The crew got out and saw the entire train completely buried in snow and immediately got to work. It took a very long time to clear the engine itself alone. Luckily, all the elves were okay and helped to clear the engine. "Thanks for helping us out back there," said the chief elf. "You're welcome," kindly replied Molly. "Boss, we still have a problem." "What now?" "The coach's undercarriage and bogies are broken more than I guess a reindeer with a broken leg." "Gosh dang it!" yelled the chief elf. "It's gonna take an absolute eternity to fix this. It's gonna be New Year's Eve once we fix them." "Even with my best knowledge of repairing stuff, I can't get these coaches fixed in time for the Christmas party," said Mario. Annie and Clarabel knew exactly what to do. "Leave us here, Thomas," they said. "What? Are you sure?" "Trust us, Thomas. It's for the better." Thomas was hesitant, but he listened to them anyway. Then everyone climbed into Thomas's cab and left for home. 1, 2, 3! The party commenced, and everyone was having a wonderful time, except for Thomas. "I'm worried for Annie and Clarabel," said Thomas to his best friend. "They just told me to leave them at Barrow, and that's it." Percy understood well, but he didn't want to see Thomas sad. Then suddenly everyone heard a strange whistle and saw the very same engine that Thomas and his crew rescued at Barrow pulling Annie and Clarabel, carrying the greatest surprise of all, Santa Claus. Thomas could not believe what he was seeing. "We told you it was for the better, Thomas," said the coaches. Thomas didn't know what to say. He was just so happy that Annie and Clarabel were able to come to the Christmas party. "Free cheers for Annie and Clarabel!" shouted Thomas excitedly. "Peep, peep! Merry Christmas to Annie and Clarabel!" "Oh, Christmas tree, How lovely are your branches, bro, so green in summertime, yet so strong in wintertime. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches. Annie and Clarabel had a wonderful Christmas party, and both agreed there was no engine better for the two of them than Thomas the Tank Engine himself.